Annyeong! Welcome to our sessions! Today, we will start creating our workbooks. Let's go! As a practice exercise, we will make a list of expenses for the day. To begin with, we're going to need a new workbook. To do this, we're going to come up to the File tab on our ribbon and click. Come down on the green panel until you find New and click on it. And then, select Blank Workbook. And again, it's a single click. We now have our new blank workbook. Remember, we can also use our shortcut Ctrl-N for this. Let's quickly zoom in so we can see what we are doing. I'm coming down to the zoom slider and just by clicking the plus a few times. You will notice that the first cell, A1, has a green box around it. It is by default the active cell, and that means we can just start typing directly on it. So I'm going to type expenses. It's a better practice to press Tab to jump to the cell to the right or press Enter to jump to the cell below. This commits the change and moves you down one cell. We're going to press Enter again to get one more down. Next thing, we're going to type item. Then press Tab to jump to the cell to the right, where I'm going to type the cost. And press Enter. You'll notice it actually jumps down and back to the first empty cell in the next row. This makes your data entry very quick and easy, right? So we're going to type train and press Tab, and that costs 20 pesos. So I'm just going to put 20. We don't need to worry about putting extra decimal places or the peso sign, as we will look at how we can use formatting tools to do that easily in a later video. Now click Enter. Alright. I bought some breakfast, so let's put breakfast in. And press Tab, and that costs 75 pesos. Then lastly, I bought some lunch, and that cost 80. Enter. I also bought a chocolate drink. But then I realized I actually didn't buy that today. That was yesterday. So now I want to delete that value from that cell. Deleting is easy. Select the cell that you want to delete and press the delete key on your keyboard. This will not remove the cell, just the contents of that cell. Please note, pressing delete on your keyboard and using the delete on your ribbon are quite different. The delete on the ribbon actually removes the cell, and that may cause other data in your spreadsheet to move. So don't use that unless you actually want to remove the cell itself. I've realized I actually made a bit of a mistake. The train journey didn't cost 20 pesos only, but I'm going to have to catch the train home, so I want to double this value. If you wish to replace the value in a cell, single click and overtype by putting in the new value. So we're going to put in 40 and press enter. In a situation where you want to modify the contents of the cell, you have a few options. So I'd like train to actually say train right. Start by clicking on the cell you want to change. Then you can either come up to the formula bar, click in the formula bar, and type your change. Now, I actually don't want to keep that. So here's a little trick. If you started modifying a cell and you don't want to keep your changes, just press escape key. You don't need to press undo because you haven't really committed the change until you press enter. Now, another way you can edit a cell is double clicking on it. You see, my cursor is now blinking in the cell and I can type in my change and press enter. The keyboard shortcut for double clicking is to press F2, and then again, if you don't want to make the change, just press escape. Next thing we need to do is type in a date. So I'm going to come up to cell B1 and I'm going to type the current date, which is March 8, 2021. Now, it's really important when you type dates into Excel that you use the correct format for your regional settings. So here in the Philippines, for example, we follow month, day, and year. If I was in Australia, I should type day followed by month and then year. Once you finish typing, press enter. Now, one last little thing to finish off your expenses, we need to total them up. So I'm going to click at A7 and type in total, then tab. We're going to come up to our home tab on our ribbon, and on the far right, you will see a tool called Autosum. We'll look at working with calculations in a lot more detail on the videos that are coming up. But if you just quickly need to add up some numbers, you can click on the Autosum. You'll see it's added up all the numeric values above the cell where I originally clicked, and then just press enter. So that's my complete expenses. Now practice on creating your own expenses.